everybody, my name is Taliah Wolf and this is my story. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I am so nervous to be doing this. I actually can't believe I'm doing this, but it's happening. In the dawn of Trans Visibility Day, I felt like it's the right time for me to come out with this video. For so long, I felt so hidden. I didn't feel like I fit in. I feel like this is a perfect moment for me to sit here today and talk to you about my story. I've seen so many stories come out, so many pictures, so many transgender inspiring sisters share their story with you guys, and it was so inspiring to me and it felt so powerful that I felt like this is the perfect moment for me to share my story. Okay, far out, that's intense. If there's one proudest moment of my life is today, sitting here in front of a camera and just telling the world I am a proud transgender woman. The reason why it's the proudest moment of my life is because I accept it, and by accepting it I feel like I'm taking back the power. My parents migrated from Lebanon, escaping the war, here to Australia. They had my brother, and then 5 years later they had little old me. Growing up in Australia, I remember a memory of when I was a kid, when I used to go to my auntie's house or I used to hang out with my parents. They used to say to me, when you're older, you're gonna marry a woman, you're going to have babies and all that stuff. And I used to freak out going, what the hell, marry a what? You know, and I used to run to the room, slam my door, jump in my bed and just start crying, thinking, why do these people want me to marry a woman? Aren't I supposed to marry a man? I literally believed genuinely in my mind I was a female. Like, poor child, I know. Oh. Now that I look back, it was one of my real earliest memories of body dysmorphia. So body dysmorphia is a condition where in your mind, when you look in the mirror, it doesn't match what you feel on the inside and what your mind's eye is supposed to see. So as a kid, because I genuinely in my mind believed I'm female, because that's what I felt, I'm told by people that I am not a girl. It sort of, as a kid, played with my head. When I was 5 years old, I was obsessed with Barbie. Like, she was my everything. I literally thought that when I grow up, this is exactly what I want to look like. This is exactly who I want to be. Then I got knowledge on gender and genitals. And they told me that my genitals didn't match Barbie's genitals, and that broke me into pieces. I literally thought Barbie had lied to me this whole time. But hey, that's what we go through. And then I found Little Mermaid. So then I was like, okay, so the Little Mermaid is a girl and she has a tail. So I'm a girl and I have a tail, so I must actually be a mermaid. I used to sit in the bathtub for hours waiting till my skin would wrinkle, thinking that, okay, a little bit longer and I'll actually turn into a mermaid. My mum would come to the bath and see me like blue, freezing, shaking, shivering. And then she would like get me out and be like, what are you doing? I'm like, no, just a little bit longer. I'm turning into a mermaid. When I think about that, I think, oh my God, like how, like, did I think of that? My biggest overall inspiration would have to be, one could only guess, Shakira. So discovering Shakira at a young age, her coming from my cultural background, her being a belly dancer, which I've been belly dancing since the age of 5, I felt like I had something in common with someone. Growing up and having no friends at all, having everyone literally put me down, I felt like she was the only thing that I could go to when I literally had nobody. The connection I had with Shakira growing up, she literally was my only best friend. That's why I'm so attached to her, and that's why forever I'll always have this warmth in my heart and forever be a fan, because of she pretty much was my, like I said, my only best friend growing up. So around that time, little mini Talia was running around the house, shaking it, belly dancing, doing her thing and living. I was so obsessed with my mum's heels and her hand towels. as my long hair. I praise parents who let their kids be who they are at a young age. If I had that chance, my life could have been a different situation, but I guess everything happens for a reason in life. So my parents sent me, after going to a co-ed primary school, sent me to what they thought they were doing best is an all-boys high school. Hello, Hurstful boys. Oh, it was a nightmare. I tell you, it was a living nightmare. Going to high school as me, you could only imagine, I was like what you would call a blonde gothic, I would say very Avril Lavigne meets Shakira with like the pins and the rips and stuff. I was very different, let's just say. Obviously, the boys noticed and used to give me hell. They really used to put it on me. Being vulnerable at that time, literally blocked that shit out and just kept on moving. So literally to the entire school, I was the biggest weirdo until today. Nothing's changed. Let's just say if I went to high school today, definitely would have been a different story. Australia, I think we need to sit down and have a chat about your school curriculum. It's time we acknowledge our school that it's okay to be gay. It's okay to be trans, lesbian. It's okay to be who you want to be. It's time we support people who don't fit in the social norm. There should be a proper support system in our schools to help, teaching students that it's okay to be different. I would love to sit down with the teacher or whoever writes these curriculums and try to find a solution or a way to help fix this issue that we're having. My journey began, I literally had to drop out of high school to find myself. My cousin D, I won't mention her full name, she snuck me in to my first gay club at the age of 17. And I felt like, wow, this is my community. This is my people. This is where I belong. I fit in. It's where I'm meant to be. The gay scene back in the day was the craziest. It was the place where you'd want to be, especially in Sydney. Honestly, I had never felt so welcomed in my life. I felt like I literally belonged. And then ever since then, I was like literally sneaking in every weekend without the security guards knowing, because now I found my little way of getting in. Shocking, I know, but hey, I'm sure you can't tell me you didn't sneak in at age 17, right? Our little secret. Partying in the gay scene exposed me to my community, the LGBT, and exposed me to beautiful trans women and beautiful gay people who showed me it's okay to be me without fear or retribution. That felt so liberated, so free, and just alive. When I was finally given the chance to perform at Taxi Club, which was the leading trans club in Sydney at the time, I started performing little numbers by my idol, Shakira, wherever, and also sing. The energy in the club, the vibe, just made me feel so powerful. Made me feel like I can be a real belly dancer performer. Now that I look back, this was the first step that showed me I can believe in myself and be who I've always wanted to be. And I'll forever cherish those moments when I first performed. And then comes my furry trans mother who supported me and further showed me the way in expressing myself to being who I am. I love her to this day. She's literally family to me. It's older trans women who I saw inspire me in knowing that any bullshit life throws at me, I can face. When I started hormone therapy at 19 years old, I had to see a specialist and a psychologist. So with hormones, I have a pellet in my stomach. They literally just make a little incision and put in a pellet inside there, which lasts for about 6 to 1 year. That gives me estrogen. Estrogen, it feminizes your face, feminizes your body, and makes your breasts grow. I also take a testosterone pill blocker called spironolactone, which lowers my testosterone. Increase the estrogen, they lower the testosterone, so I end up looking the way I look. If you're looking to start hormone therapy, there are so many steps to go on hormone therapy. First is by getting a referral to see a specialist from your doctor. Your specialist will send you to the psychologist, and then you go back to your specialist, and then he gives you the magic pills. The beginning of my experience, I had first told my dad before he passed away that I am trans. He said to me that it doesn't matter what you are or who you want to be, as long as you're happy and safe, that's all that matters to me. And I will forever cherish those words that literally brought tears to my eyes. Coming from a traditional cultural background made me love and respect him so much more. I know a lot of men who can't say that to their sons, especially traditional ones. I will forever carry that with me in my heart. Because my mum is traditional old school, I literally had to break it down to her. I told her first that I was bi. And then obviously immersing myself in the gay scene and starting Hormones, I wanted to tell her I am transgender. That totally broke her. She literally couldn't understand why. She went to doctors looking for answers like, what the hell is wrong with my kid, you know? The doctors told her to support me and stand by me. Thank you, doctors. And that people like me need family and support. Because either your kid is going to end up with major anxiety, depression, or potentially harm themselves. At that moment, literally hit her. She was like, nah. Even if I can't handle this, I'm gonna support my child. The last thing I wanna do is, you know, something happened to my child and I'll forever regret that just because I didn't accept it. So she did. Until this day, my mum supports me so much. We're like sisters. She actually was one of the first to give me her blessing for this video. It means the world to me. Hi, mummy, love you. So my brother, on the other hand, totally disowned me. He just couldn't understand why. My brother, being an alpha male, didn't accept or fathom the fact that my brother is going to be a girl. He just couldn't comprehend it in his head, and he just didn't want to. My dad's last moments in hospital were the hardest moments of my life. He couldn't even look at me. He wanted literally nothing to do with me, to the point he physically didn't allow me to see my dad on his deathbed for the last time. There's nothing I could do about it, and I felt so powerless. There was multiple physical altercations that have had happened, which I don't really want to get into right now. If you are someone who has dealt with abuse, please know there is help out there for you. Tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell someone you're close to, tell your mother, tell anyone, just get it out there. Because it can really affect you like it's affected me. Let's just say if that had happened today, it would be different. Though to this day, he still can't comprehend who I am as a person. I still love him and support him. But people in life have their own journeys to go through. Coming up in Western Sydney, Australia, transgender was unheard of, especially in the area. When you're someone with a Lebanese cultural background and social media was still in its infancy, because around my area is predominantly Arab, and me being Arab exposed me to something. I really don't want to get into it, but I definitely maybe will make a story time another time. My dating life was literally like a Cinderella story. When I first started my hormone therapy, I met the most adorable guy ever. He literally embraced me. He told me that I love you for who you are, not what you are. And out of that came a 6 years most loving relationship I never thought I would have. To this day, I love him. I support him with all my heart. I wish him nothing but the best, but it didn't work out, which maybe will end up being a story time too. So these days, I don't really date. It's not something I have in interest. I have other things that I'm focusing on, which are taking up all my time, but I'm also happy with doing. For dating, yeah, it's a no for me. I prefer to work on my career, build a brand, and make something of myself, and also make my mum proud. So have I or haven't I done the surgery? I haven't. It's something that I think when I'm ready, I would know. Until now, I'm very content with myself. I'm happy. I've just recently accepted myself for who I am and everything about me. And not having the bottom surgery shouldn't define you as a woman. I know there's a lot of questions when it comes to surgeries, especially being a transgender woman and what I have done. I have done a few things. I've done a little bit of fillers. I've done a little bit of Botox. I've done my breast twice. The first time was shocking. I had to go back and fix them again. They didn't do them how I wanted. They put them in the wrong places. I had to get fixed up, and now I'm sort of happy, but you never know. I might get them redone and turn it into a vlog. I've done the hotel BBL. I've done my nose one time, a botched ass FFS, which I'm telling you now, if you don't go to an experienced FFS doctor, don't do it. And in Australia, I don't recommend. So if you're thinking about getting surgeries, please, I beg you, do your research. Make sure that doctor is well known. Not only well known, you've seen a lot of his work and you actually like his work. And you make sure the doctor has done over 1,000 heads, which I'm going to end up fixing again. I'll end up doing a whole vlog on all my surgeries. When it comes to kids, I adore them. I love them. I can only handle them for like an hour or two. I can like run around, scream with them, end up acting like a kid, but to raise a kid, I think it's a no-go zone for me. I don't know, maybe it's just not for me, but I do want a puppy. So when it comes to support, I must say I am definitely blessed in having the most amazing, supportive, loving, caring. There's so much I can keep going on. Like literally, there is not enough words to describe these girls I can call my sisters. I literally look at them and treat them like more than my own family. I can't stress to you how important support is being a transgender, especially having not just support, but you need the right support around you. Friends who would lift you up, friends who will be there by your side. It's a give and take, but in the most supportive way. If you're someone who's feeling alone, know that there is support groups out there. Online, there's a lot of resources. If you ever needed someone to talk to, or you had any questions on transitioning, or just any questions at all, you're most welcome to come and inbox me, and I'll do my best to reply when I can. I just want to say, being with one of my closest friends, my little baby, she inspired me so much when she was recording her My Truth video for Mardi Gras. I saw the strength in her, and I thank you for being you and encouraging and inspiring someone who found it really hard to make this video. So you've come to the end of my video, you've heard my nerve-wracking story, and I honestly hope from my heart you take away what it's like being a transgender woman, what we together can do as a society to move forward, and we should be a lot more kinder to people we don't know because you never know their story. So thank you so much for watching. I am so nervous to release this. If this video can help at least one person, that will mean the world to me. Thank you for watching. I'm Taliah Wolf, and I'll see you soon.